Hey guys, it's Alyssa. If you couldn't already tell by the title, this week is going to be like a story time, and the story I'm going to share with you guys this week is my bullying story, as you guys could tell by the title. I'm pretty much going to explain to you guys kind of my experience with bullying and kind of how it fuels my life today, kind of what came out of it for me. That sounds really weird, but just my story. I'm just going to stop rambling. So this is my first mental health video, and my plan for filming is I'm going to get a video once a week on Sunday, and it's going to go in an order of like animal adoption, shelter related, mental health, and then a fun video. And that pattern might not always be consistent, just depending on what's going on in my life at the time and what makes the most sense. But I'm going to try to stick to that pattern as much as I can, so just get excited. So without further ado, I'm just going to get started. My bullying started when I was in 6th grade. There was this girl that I'm just going to call Anna. She came to my school in 6th grade and she was new, and I'd been at my old school since I was in preschool. So I loved the school. I felt very content. And then this girl came in, and from day one, she was just like, I don't like you, and I'm not going to like you. Like, she said that to my face, and I'm like, nice to meet you too. Like, great start to the year. And yeah, her mom and my best friend's mom kind of got to know each other very well, mainly because they're both Korean. And so it was kind of awkward because like Julia was kind of forced to be friends with her, and that's my best friend, and it just made it hard because then I was always wanting to be around my friend Julia because she's my best friend and I've known her for years, and then this new girl comes in who just doesn't like me but kind of has to be around me because Julia's the only person that she knows that she likes, and it was very hard, and that year just didn't go well either. Like, it was just a lot of, she kind of like, sorry, I'm looking at my notes, she kind of just, she didn't like verbally abuse me or physically abuse me or anything like that, or even cyberly bully me. She just would like give me stares and just make me feel very uncomfortable whenever I was around her. And like, even when I tried to make nice with her and tried to be friends with her, she just didn't want anything to do with me. And like, I didn't know what I did because I hadn't even said one word to her, and she already kind of made a judgment of me, and that hurt a lot. But it wasn't really that bad in 6th grade other than that. One thing though is at my school that year, they were having, for our auction that year, it was themed around like recycling and everything and being green in that way. And so they had this fun contest called Recycle Runway, and the contest task was to create a piece of clothing, a dress, a shirt and a skirt, shirt and pants, whatever, just an outfit out of all recycled materials. And then we like had a runway, like a fashion show, and people came in and judged. Someone from my school judged. Someone that actually worked in like the industry came in and judged, and someone that teaches like about the earth and recycling at a university came in and judged. And so we decided we wanted to do it, and Joy and I were like, yeah, and then Haley wanted to step in. She's like, yeah, I know about fashion, and I'm like, okay, great, I have to be with you on a project. This couldn't end well. This is not going to end well. So we started off an idea, and like Joy and I and my other friend Roz had this idea, and we started collecting up used potato chip bags and used bottle caps, and we're like, okay, we'll make the skirt out of used potato chip bags and make it like ruffled and stuff, and that would look really cool. And we started to attempt it, and that was kind of our idea, and then Haley's like, no, this doesn't work. And so like, we did all this hard work in savoring all of it, and I actually ate a lot more chips that time just to gain a lot more, kind of to have a big collection. And so we're like, okay, what do you want to do? And she's like, let's do CDs. And she made this huge like disco dress, and she had this nightgown that her mom didn't wear anymore and was going to throw it anyway, and so we used that because it was recycled. And we attached CDs to it, and I at first didn't really like it and was kind of like, let's do this instead. Let's try to stick with our original idea because we already have all the supplies for it. And she's like, no, we have to do this one. Like, that's not a good idea. And she just kind of shot down my ideas. No matter how many I came up with, she always shot them down. And that was kind of a big theme of what she did to me. And so one day we had a snow day, and it was right before the contest, and we really hadn't finished our dress yet, so we had to find some way to get everyone together, and we decided to go to my house and so we decided that my house would be perfect because my neighbor was going to be the model, and so we needed her to try it on and make sure it fit, and then make sure it was movable and everything. And yeah, so that was just very awkward and awful, and even to my mom, she was very rude. My mom, she brought her own food because she doesn't like to eat a lot of foods because she's allergic to gluten, I believe, and then she just doesn't like to eat a lot of foods. Very strange. But she brought her own food and stuff, and she didn't want pizza, so my mom was like, "Do you want me to warm it up?" And she was like, "No." And it was just so rude. Like my mom didn't even like her after that, and she hadn't really known that she was bullying me. I didn't really tell her any of that for a while actually. But that was mostly what happened in 6th grade. Those were like the big moments that I can remember, and it really actually wasn't that bad except for the recycled runway experience. But yeah, other than that, it was fine. 7th grade is a whole different story. She kind of turned it all up, and she did start to like almost verbally abuse me. Like she just would say really mean things to me, like, you know, you're not smart enough, you're not worth it, you don't have good ideas, you're stupid, like all those kind of things. And like it made me cry at times, and I don't really like crying in public at all. And like my friends didn't really know because I like still did it in private, but I still cried at my school, and I'm like, this is great, like this is not fun. And I actually did start to tell like my advisor from my school for that year, and she didn't really like step in, but like just so someone knew. But I just didn't want to tell my parents. I guess I thought I could handle it on my own, and yeah, apparently I couldn't. 8th grade was pretty much the same as 7th grade, just a lot of verbal abuse. And I forgot to say that in 7th grade we had this English assignment, and it was just to make a PowerPoint, and we were taking like what we learned in a book, like a theme from a book that we were reading, and applied it to real lives, I believe. And a couple other people in my grade, and then this bully Anne were in my group. And so she just didn't really want to divvy up the work very evenly. She just kind of didn't see the rest of us in the group as intellectually compatible with her, and she's really kind of cautious of getting good grades. She always wants to get A pluses. Like even if she gets an A minus on something, she still cries about it, and like our teachers don't like that because obviously an A minus is awesome. But she just wasn't being very nice, and my teacher even actually ended up stepping because they kind of were having a lot of like arguments and fighting, and just it was very hard. But my teacher didn't at that point say, let's just split them up and get them in different groups and just not have them be a group because they're just not working right together. She still made us be in a group, and so the little bit that I was given to do, I did it. And then because of her kind of constant playbacks of what she was saying in my head, I got really scared to upload my stuff and write it. Like I was constantly looking on the dictionary to find smarter words to use. I didn't want to use words like good or very or just very simple words, because that's kind of what she does a lot. And then so I have my slides all printed out so I could have kind of a reference point for when I was presenting. And as I was presenting, like the teacher started looking kind of had a weird look on her face, and like some of the students were like, "What's she talking about? It's not what it says up there." And I turn around and I look at it, and I'm like, "This isn't what I did." So she pretty much went in there and she changed it because she didn't like the way I wrote it or the specific information that I chose to use, and it just made me look so stupid and so overprepared. And that might not have been her original intention. She wasn't like saying, let's see how stupid I can make Alyssa look and appear in front of the entire class, in front of our teacher. She just really wanted a good grade, and she just didn't think my work was good enough. And I think I was the only person who actually did that too. So I felt really very hurt by that. I'm like, well, you didn't think they were very smart. Why was their work good enough? I didn't understand it. And that kind of happened a lot in 8th grade as well. Luckily, we weren't in the same section of our grades. We didn't have to like go to every class together because that's what happens in middle school and high school. You're split up into 3 or 4 sections depending how big your class is, and they're called STR groups. And then, excuse me, and then you go with that same group to all your major classes. The only times the groups are different is for language, because you might not all take the same language, and also for math because you might get placed into a higher math class. But yeah, so luckily I didn't have her in my section in 8th grade. I did in 7th grade, and I actually also had her in my advisory, so double whammy. And then I think she was in my advisory in 8th grade as well, but I can't remember. So that was middle school, and she never did ever cyberbully me, ever. She doesn't really use the internet. She has like a Facebook account which she literally never goes on, just, you know, profile picture. But yeah. But then in 9th grade, it was still kind of the same. It was actually a little more subdued, and the only annoying thing though was that she decided that she wanted to leave Stewart and go to the public high school. And then like she went to the orientation before the first day of school for the public high school, and she didn't like it. She felt like she wasn't being treated very nicely, and like she didn't have any friends. So she decided at the last minute to transfer back to Stewart, and I'm like, really? I was so close to having her gone from my life. And so 9th grade was actually pretty subdued. I kind of had a little bit of a new friend group, a teensy bit, and kind of it made me stay away from her a fair amount. But then in 10th grade, it all changed. One of my new best friends that came in 9th grade really liked Anna, because they both like talking about the same things at once. They like talking about grades and classes and homework and all that stuff, and it was just very hard because I liked hanging out with this girl, and so did the bully, and so like I was kind of forced to be with her because all my other friends had club meetings on different days than I did, and we weren't really in a lot of the same clubs, so it was just very annoying. But other than that, the year wasn't that bad, and then 10th grade came, and yeah, which I already said because I'm in 10th grade now. But it just was awful, and then I ended up developing anxiety and depression, which at the time was not linked to the bullying at all, because it really didn't seem like it was that bad to cause all of this. We thought it was something different. I got put on bunches of medications, ended up in hospital, and missed a lot of school. I missed school from mid-December to mid-February, though I still graduated with my class on time. And yeah, once I got back from the hospital and kind of got on better medications, it was fine. I kind of was able to go back for the most part, but yet again, still hadn't connected any of it to bullying, where like, I was like, this didn't cause it, you know. There's something completely different. Don't know what. Maybe just stress of being in high school, or they don't know. But it wasn't fun. And then I graduated from 10th grade. The summer before 11th grade was really good, obviously, because it's summer and I get to do whatever I want. Don't have school stress. Don't have stress about friends that I don't want to see, like this bully of mine. But then right before 11th grade, like 2 weeks, I started having all the same anxiety and everything that I had about school before again. And when I thought I was rid of it, and it was just awful. I was crying. I just did not want to go back to my old school. I did not want to go back. Like, I just couldn't. And finally one night, like when my dad and I were getting pizza, and I just literally was crying constantly. Like, I did not stop crying. It was awful. My parents were like, stop crying already. Like, pull yourself together. Man up. And I just couldn't. That's how terrified I was. Sorry. But finally that night, while my dad was getting pizza, I finally revealed to him that I think it was because of this bully that I couldn't go back. And so once I kind of figured that out, we ended up making the conclusion that I would leave my old school for that year and transfer somewhere else. And I ended up transferring to this new kind of school that had many locations across most of the West Coast and the East Coast. And it's a one-on-one learning program, and it's really awesome. It's really nice, and it gave me the confidence I needed and the self-esteem boost. Like, I did really well in my classes. I was finally getting all A's for once, which I kind of felt like I deserved more in my old school, but was never really given it. And I feel like teachers didn't always see my full potential at that school, and it was great, and I loved it. And it also made me feel smart, because they were saying how great my papers were compared to everybody else, how much I knew, how much I was prepared. You know, I was never late, never talked back to the teachers, never, I don't know, I just was a star student. And the only thing that was missing from this new school was kind of the social aspect. I missed my friends. Didn't really gain any friends at this new school because a lot of of the people at these schools have way kind of bad learning disabilities. A lot of people that go to this school like have like Asperger's or bad ADHD and just not the great environment for getting social and getting a boyfriend, even though I ended up having a boyfriend, but that's for a different subject. If you want to hear more about that experience, comment down below and I'll do a video on it sometime, but I'm not going to waste time in this video today to talk about that. I just miss my friends, and I missed a lot of the teachers, and I felt like wasn't challenging me enough. I kind of felt like a lot of the stuff was easy. Homework was really easy, and I got it done really fast. I kind of missed that challenge. I was scared that when I went to college or when I go to college, I wouldn't be prepared for the caliber just from the spring of my junior year to see if I could go back to my old school. I've been there since I was in preschool. I wanted to finish what I had started. I'd been there for so long, I needed to graduate. And also, I wanted to show this bully that I'm not terrified of her, and she can't pull me away from what I love. So, my school agreed, and I am currently actually at 2 schools. I am at Fusion at my old school. At Fusion, I take Spanish for honors calculus and AP chemistry, and I take English, and I take the religion classes, which are requirements to graduate. So yeah, works out really nice. Having a little bit of trouble at the moment, but it's all good with my bully. They did talk to her, I guess, in the beginning of 11th grade, just to like see her side of the story and see if she felt the same way. You know, maybe in the end I was just over exaggerating things and maybe kind of overthought what she was like, how she was looking at me and things like that. I don't know what she said to the counselors that she talked to. I don't know how she views me now. I don't know if it's different, but we do talk to each other, and at times it's still awkward, but we get through it, and I'm not in any of her classes at the moment, so that worked out really well. I'm sorry if this video was very rambly, but I hope you guys kind of learned from the experience. Biggest things I learned from this experience is to not let someone get you down and pull you away from what you love. And now I'm a huge advocate for stopping bullying, especially this kind of bullying, because it's really hard to see, because she's not causing me to have bruises on my face or something, and there's not mean tweets or comments on Facebook or anything like that, or mean text or whatever to show, like, to prove it. It's very hidden, and it's very hard to find real evidence that it was going on, because it could just be all in my head, you know. It's really hard to prove. So I'm really kind of campaigning for that. And yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. And the only reason I'm coughing so much is because I have a sore throat. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below any videos you would like me to do, any topics. If you want to collaborate with me on a video, that'd be cool as well. And please subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!